You know, when you get a new medicine or a medical device, there's this sort of invisible shield protecting you, right? It's built by national regulators. But here's the thing, not all of those shields are made the same way. Today, we're going to look at two powerful and really different approaches to keeping us all safe. I mean, it's a question we all think about. It really gets to the heart of our trust in modern medicine. And the answer? Well, it lies with these powerful national agencies, the gatekeepers who decide what gets the green light. So today, we're going to peek behind the curtain and see exactly how two of these major gatekeepers work. All right, here's the game plan. We'll kick things off by introducing these crucial agencies. Then we'll dive into China's method. They're building a massive system from scratch. After that, we'll jump over to Saudi Arabia's strategy, which is all about leveraging global partners. Then we'll put the two side by side and wrap up by looking at what's next from medical regulation. So pretty much every country on Earth relies on these gatekeepers. Their mission sounds simple, but it is absolutely massive. Make sure every single medical product out there is safe, effective, and high quality. For this explainer, we're really zooming in on two big players: China's Center for Drug Evaluation, which you'll hear me call the CDE, and the Saudi Food and Drug Authority, or the SFDA. Now, both have the exact same goal: protecting public health, but you'll see they've picked totally different ways to get there. First up, let's talk about China. I mean, they're facing this booming biotech industry and, of course, a huge population. So what do? They've been building their own incredibly detailed regulatory system, a true blueprint for doing it all themselves. Okay, this slide right here gives you a perfect look at how they've built this thing. Just think of it like a pyramid. Right at the very top, you've got the big foundational national laws. From there, it flows down to more specific rules, which then guide the really practical stuff, like how to run clinical trials. And the entire base of the pyramid, it's just this massive foundation of super detailed technical guidelines. It is an incredibly organized, top-down system that's designed to leave no stone unturned. And believe me, this system is being put to the test. Just look at this chart. It shows the applications for new, innovative biologic drugs. The growth is just wow. It jumps from about 120 applications back in 2019 to over 640 in 2021. This isn't just growth, folks. It's a flat-out explosion. The CDE has had to scale up its entire operation at a speed that almost no other agency has ever had to deal with. And here's the really important part. It's not just about fielding more paperwork, it's about actually getting results. The number of products that were actually recommended for approval more than doubled in just 2 years. That tells you the system isn't just getting swamped, it's actually getting more efficient at pushing safe and effective products through to patients. And nothing showed off the system's muscle like the COVID-19 pandemic. The CDE basically threw out the old rulebook. They decided to get involved super early. Instead of doing one step after another, they ran testing, inspection, and review all at the same time. They were flexible, letting companies send in data as soon as it was ready. And they sped up trials with new creative designs. This was their blueprint model running on all cylinders. Okay, let's switch gears and head to our second case study. Saudi Arabia's SFDA has taken a completely different path. Instead of building it all from the ground up, their model is based on international teamwork and a really clear philosophy they call good review practices. So the heart of their strategy is pretty simple and pretty smart. Don't reinvent the wheel. The SFDA basically leverages the hard work that's already been done by other top-tier regulators. If a new drug or device has already gotten the stamp of approval from a trusted agency, say the FDA in the US or the EMA in Europe, it can enter what's called a verification pathway. And this isn't some informal shortcut. It's a formal process that lets the SFDA use that prior approval as a trusted starting point. This flowchart here kind of maps out their whole process. But the real takeaway is that there are different doors into the system. For a lot of products, this is the very first step. You have to show proof of approval from one of those big global agencies. It's a mandatory checkpoint, and if you have it, it unlocks that faster verification pathway. This lets the SFDA focus its own experts on verifying the data and looking at local needs instead of redoing a full review from square one. And the whole system is really smart. It's definitely not one size fits all. A key principle of their good review practices is being balanced and evidence-based. So the first thing they do is classify a product by its risk. You know, a tongue depressor is low risk. A pacemaker, that's high risk. This classification then decides how much scrutiny is needed, making sure their scientists spend the most time on products with the biggest potential risk. It's all about being safe and efficient. So there you have it, two really different systems, both aiming for the exact same target, keeping the public safe.
You could say one builds a fortress while the other builds a network of trusted friends.
Let's just put them right next to each other. On the left, you have China's CDE, what we're calling the blueprint model. It's all about building a complete, self-sufficient system that can handle huge volumes with total internal control. Then on the right, you've got the SFDA, the network model. It's about being strategic, using global partnerships, focusing on efficiency, and syncing up with international standards.
And this is so important to understand. It's not about which one is better. Neither one is. China's model is a perfect strategic fit for its goal of becoming a global biotech powerhouse and managing its own gigantic market. The SFDA's model is a really clever, efficient choice that gives its citizens fast access to the world's best medical tech, all while keeping safety standards incredibly high. So, why should we care about these different approaches? Well, because the choices these agencies make have massive ripple effects on global health, on innovation, and on whether or not patients get access to the latest treatments.
So, what are the big takeaways here? First, patient safety is a universal goal, but the roadmaps to get there can look very different from country to country. China gives us a masterclass in how to build a regulatory giant for massive scale. Meanwhile, Saudi Arabia shows us the power of smart collaboration. And for both of them, the biggest test is still to come, just trying to keep up with the insane pace of medical innovation. And that brings us to the final big question. In a world with gene therapies, AI diagnostics, and mRNA everything, are we going to see regulators start to come together on a single global standard for approval? Or will national goals and different circumstances mean that this tale of two gatekeepers just becomes a tale of many, with everyone carving out their own unique path forward?